Hey, I'm back. All right, so congratulations to Dan Ald. I don't know if you're in the chat. Are you in the chat? Let's see if you're in the chat. Actually, the Twitter account is Dan Ald 11. So that's our winner. Hopefully there isn't a Dan Ald and a Dan Ald 11. We could go to his Twitter account. Oh, okay, I spelled it wrong. It's D-Ald 11. Good thing my graphic was wrong, but D-Ald 11, the person's name is Dan Ald. That's why I got confused. So there's our winner. No, he doesn't have 11 Twitter accounts. I actually checked. If he does, he named them very differently. But yeah, so we will be contacting you through your account so that we can make arrangements to get you your boxes of magic. All right, so other things we have going on. I guess I can tell you a little bit why it took us maybe an hour or two longer to get up. Well, first of all my little converters stopped working, these little things. So we had to go to Radio Shack, get a new converter. Turns out after we got the new converter, it still didn't work. So I had to MacGyver one of the old converters to get that to work. But it only works with one of the cameras because we have a camera and a backup camera. So once we got that up and running, we actually had some other camera issues. That looks better.
You can't see any of the lines?
That's okay. We could just have them explain it. So,
Alright, I'm going to grab a chair for you. Jesse?
Well, yeah. Actually, no, you could just sit. Why don't you two do it? I was just trying to explain what was going on with the... They really don't want to know. But you need to change the names. Well, you can just put his deck name there, Grixis. And move that over there. Move that over there. And then you can just do it, and then I'll watch his stuff so no one steals it.
Thank you.
So you guys can just...
The judge is over there.
Oh, well, okay.
And Ben. Jesse. Nice to meet you. Thanks for doing this Good Decks Live. I'm here with Jesse. How do you pronounce your last name? I don't want to butcher it.
Samek.
Samek? Okay. We're talking about his Grixis deck. Let me go over to it. One sec. And there you get a good look at his Grixis deck. You're 3-0, right? 4-0, rather. 4-0 right now. Pretty excited about your deck?
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Okay, so I'm going to go through card by card in the deck. If I can't see something because it's a little far away, just tell me, correct me. You've got 3 Lightning Bolt, 2 Courier's Capsule, 2 Double Negative, 2 Essence Scatter, 2 Jace, 3 Terminate, 3 Treasure Hunt, 2 Flash Freeze, 2 Calcite Snapper, that's 3 Sphinx of Dwar Isle, 3 Cruel Ultimatum, 2 Negate, 1 Sorin Markov, 2 Earthquake, 2 Into the Royal, 4 Drowned Catacombs, 2 Mountains, 4 Swamps, 3 Islands, 4 Scalding Tarns, 4 Dragon Skull Summits, 4 Crumbling Necropolis, and 1 Scalding Tarpet. What is the...
Creeping Tarpet.
Creeping Tarpet. Okay. So tell us a little bit about your main deck.
It has plenty of draw power, plenty of kill, and it just stalls until you get to turn 7 where you can Cruel Ultimatum.
So just sort of the old sort of thought of those cruel control decks where you just stall out until you can get the mana for Cruel Ultimatum, like you said. Do you think... I know a bunch of the Grixis decks were having problems winning once they cast Cruel Ultimatum. Have you had any trouble today?
Not at all. Like, they go -6. It's like It's an amazing card.
Sure. It's definitely very powerful. And you've got a couple of Planeswalkers in there. You've got Jace and Sorin. Sorin is a card that a couple of the Grixis decks haven't played before. Tell me a little bit about it.
Sorin, it's just like a brick. Like, put them to 10, and then you can Cruel Ultimatum them, put them to 5 right away, put them right on the clock, and kill a guy each turn. Sorin just gets to them.
And Jace is obviously a new addition to the Grixis deck. Tell me a little bit about how good he is.
Jace is so good. It's like the best control card in the format. Fate Seal them, where they don't draw anything, or you Brainstorm, then Treasure Hunt. It's a good combo.
Sure. Did you play this deck before Worldwake came out?
Yes. I didn't play any Jaces. I just played one Sorin, and when the new Jace came out, I had to put it in.
Sure. And do you think Jace definitely makes this deck stronger, right?
Definitely.
And why don't you go ahead and tell us a little bit about your sideboard? You've got 2 Flash Freeze in the sideboard, 1 Earthquake, 4 Spreading Seas, 2 Thought Hemorrhage, 1 Tellman Performance, 1 Mind Shatter, 2 Negate, 2 Vampire Nighthawk.
I couldn't main deck 4 Flash Freeze. Jund was really a powerful deck after winning the PT. So, I have to have 4 in total between my deck and my sideboard. Earthquake, it just kills everything. It's like one of the best sorceries in the deck. Spreading Seas against Jund, if I go first, I always side it in. Puts them on like clock, and Thought Hemorrhage. I just side against Vampires, call Nocturnus. Tellman Performance, the blue-white deck that NC played, it just has Iuna main deck. So you'll Tellman Performance, and it's either you deck them out or you get Iuna. Against Turbo Fog, I milled out 2 Turbo Fogs in the last week. Mind Shatter was main decked until this morning. I saw a lot of Jund, so I just put Flash Freezes instead. I played 3 Negates, and then I took one out for the second Flash Freeze. And then the Nighthawks are good against, Mono Red, against Vampires slow down. And it's, Death Touch, so it's pretty good.
Sure. What do you think your deck's good matchups are? What do you hope to play against next round in the rounds continuing onwards?
Anything but, like, Vampires and, like, Red deck wins. Everything else has like a good matchup since it's not too quick in the format.
You've got some protection against the Red Deck Wins deck just because you've got the 2 Calcite Snappers main. I know that was a big, a good card for the Grixis decks because the blue-white-red control decks always had wall denial, but the Grixis ones just didn't have any kind of wall like that.
Yeah, Snapper's good to late game 2 after you Cruel, because then you could just swing for 8, and it almost kills them.
Sure. What do you want to face? What do you think your best matchups are?
I know Jund is a pretty good matchup. I haven't played any Jund yet today, though. Just Naya's not bad because of the Earthquakes. Anything that's not like such a quick deck.
Sure. Do you have anything else you want to say about your deck?
Not really. It's pretty solid.
Did we ask you if you wanted to change any cards or anything? Like, if you could change your deck around right now, would you change?
4 rounds into this tournament.
Yeah. What would you change, or is it perfect?
I wouldn't change a single card.
Oh, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. This deck list is perfect.
The people on the chat are wondering why only 2 Jaces? If you think he's so good, why don't you play like a third?
It's too heavy. I always want to have mana open to counter, and worst comes to worst, I could always just Jace and leave myself in a controlling position.
And then, like some of the other numbers, they're wondering about why only 3 Treasure Hunt. Why are these numbers all perfect? 2 of each of the counters, many 2-ofs.
Well, the Treasure Hunt, it's if you don't have a Jace or you don't have any knowledge of your top deck, like with Sphinx of Droil, it could be just a 1-for-1, and it's not that great. Curious Capsule, you'll always get the +2 on it, and O-rings in the format, so I had to cut it down to 2. The counter spells, 2 of each. It makes it where it's balanced out, where you won't get too flooded on one kind of counter spell.
Sure. Did you think about putting Mind Spring in your deck? I know that was a card before Treasure Hunt was legal. The Grixis decks were playing.
Mind Spring's pretty good in the other control decks, but right now, like I said, with the not tapping out, it's really important so I can Cruel Ultimatum. The card drawing is not that big of a deal.
Okay. And somebody wanted to know